This is the Czechoslovakian 26.5mm flare gun. It's called the Vz4481. When you ordered these, they came in this nice leather pouch. Some of them were the typical Russian type pebbled vinyl, and they usually were in pretty good shape, almost brand new. Mine was a little bit on the used side, but still in very good condition. I purchased this about 3 years ago from, I believe, Apex, and it was $80 at the time, but suddenly they've seemed to have rather dried up a little bit on their availability. This, of course, was based on the Russian M44, not the Mosin Nagant, but the flare gun, and Czechoslovakia and Poland also made their versions of these that are virtually identical. The grips are a little bit different on some of these, and there are other variations. The Vz4467 was a previous version of this gun. Was created with a straighter hammer. The brake action lever was a little bit different. The pin was a little bit different, the hinge pin. But all in all, the grips were a little bit different. They were smooth grips rather than having the checkering on them. When you ordered these, they also came with, in the pouch, usually a cleaning brush. And you see my cleaning brush was somewhat used, but still serviceable. A lanyard was included with it, and a punch, or rather a swab, or a push rod for extracting the spent cartridges if you had to use it for that. The other thing that I noticed in preparing for this video was the price of these has gone up as availability has gone down. Typical of a surplus, as they run out, they get harder to find, the prices jump up. I've seen sites, I only found one site actually that had these still advertised as in stock at $120, and other sites going up as high as $150. One site had $180, all out of stock. Came in absolutely beautiful condition, as most of them do, practically unused. It probably was unused. Bore pristine and shiny. The only thing you really need to do about them is clean them once you fire them. Disassembly, really easy. There's a small tab right here. Really the only thing you want to pull apart on them is the extractor. And you push this down, push on this tab, and out it comes. Of course, it's gonna not behave since I'm filming. There, I think we got it there. You can thoroughly clean that if you have to. Insert it back in. Might have to move the barrel down slightly until it snaps into place. You're good to go. That's really all there is to them. Simple. There's lots of videos telling about the virtues of how heavy these are. Fully steel except for the grips, which are Bakelite. You can see this one was manufactured in 1982, as indicated by the 82 on it. Also on the extractor, there's a electro-penciled number matches this. It's 840. It's on the back side of the extractor when you pull that out, so maybe you'll see that. The pouch also has on the back side, there's another video show, another set of smaller pouches for holding the flares, the 26.5mm flares. What I originally bought this for was I was going to use it as a snake gun, so I purchased several inserts. And the first one I purchased, see if this is it, yeah, by Czechoslovakian is this adapter, subcaliber adapter, and it is rifled, so it does come with a letter from the BATF, or for the BATF, indicating it's legal to own because it is rifled, but it is reduces the caliber down to a .410 shotgun shell or 45 Colt. Simply insert it into the barrel, into the chamber, and you're ready to load a .410 or 45 Colt. And that's what I intended it for, such as a snake gun when I was out fishing, hunting, or backpacking, camping, and it fills that role very well. Another insert you can get, subcaliber insert, is the 22. This is a plastic insert, also made by Kensaw Cannon, and it has in it a steel barrel and chamber for 22 long rifle. Works the same way. I've never tried this insert. I'm pretty sure it would be extremely difficult to hit anything with, being a non-sighted weapon. I should point out they do make sights for these, however, and rails. The sight is a laser sight which actually attaches to the bottom of the barrel, and then you can get a rail to put on the top if you so desire. The last insert I have for it is this 12 gauge insert. Now this insert is not for 12 gauge shotgun shells, but 12 gauge flares. And the nice thing about these, you can go to your local boat store, even Walmart carries these right on the shelf, about 20 bucks at Walmart. You can buy these 12 gauge Orion flares. And this might save you some expense. I was trying to come up with something like these, which I wouldn't even guarantee would work. Made in 1984. These are Czechoslovakian green signal flares. Sealed in a nice wax box, but would they work? I don't know. Generally flares have a 3-year expiration date on them, so it'd be fun trying it. But again, these now have gone up in price considerably too. I believe I paid $30 for this 10 pack. I've seen them for as high as $75 for one of these packages. They come in various colors, reds, whites, but you also, on top of that, got to remember you're going to have a hazmat fee of, I think it's $27.50. So you're going to have, unless you order in bulk, you're going to have quite a bit of expense there. Now, on the subject of these 12 gauge flares, we can see they will slip right into this adapter. A little ridge in there that interferes a little bit with it. However, this one did not come marked as 12 gauge flares only. The ones on the website were marked such. This one did not have that marking on it. But just to be clear, you're not creating a short barrel shotgun when you put this in, because it will not accept a 12 gauge shotgun shell. And I would never shoot a 12 gauge shotgun shell out of one of these firearms. It would probably, if it didn't do damage to your wrist firing it, it would probably grenade the firearm itself. They're not designed for the pressures of a modern shotgun shell, 12 gauge shotgun shell. And to demonstrate here, this shotgun, I have a 12 gauge shotgun shell here. These do have a machined ridge inside, and if you'll notice, this is a 2 3/4 inch shotgun shell. The ridge on the flare is about a ½ inch difference between it and the shotgun shell, so it will not, even if I try to insert it, it will not go in. Hits that ridge. Of course, Would have liked to have had this marked as 12 gauge flare, because there's always going to be somewhere down the line an idiot that might try and force this in and fire it, or even cut it off. Who knows? But as it sits now, it's legal to own because it's still a flare gun, not a non-rifled 12 gauge shotgun barrel. Slips right in, and now we're set up for the 12 gauge flares. Simple as that. So, as with other military surplus guns, a slight lesson: if you see it when it's cheap, you probably ought to buy it. There are limited numbers of surplus guns that were produced, and once they dry up and go away, they're gone. Prices go up, supplies go down, they get harder to find, and even the ammunition follows suit, and it'll dry up, get expensive. So if you want one of these, now might be the time to grab one. There are still some other versions out there of flare guns in this 26.5 millimeter. They are, like I say, in the $125 range for them also. The day of the cheap surplus firearm seems to be coming to a close. Even the Mosin Nagants are disappearing and starting to climb in price slowly. There were millions and millions of those made. I have no idea of the numbers of these that were produced. However, they do seem to be drying up as we speak. Gunbroker, they can still be found there. Sometimes reasonably priced, sometimes without the nice bag, and sometimes just the pistol itself. So, I hope you enjoyed this quick little look at a real fun firearm to play with. Maybe carry as a backup snake gun, even home defense with 410 shotgun slugs. I would think that would be a viable option, but it's just one shot, slow to load, maybe not the best option. But as a bug out type gun in a bug out bag, perhaps, it has its uses. So pick one up if you need one or want one, or before they all disappear. Thanks for watching.